One house right here, 2 houses right here, 3 houses right here, 4 houses right here, 5 houses right here, maybe 2 houses right there. You feel me?
$500,000, $500,000. Look at the diamonds in them teeth.
And nobody got this watch.
If you don't got this watch right here, you a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead. You a little boy. Sit down. King's home. It's over.
Daniel Hernandez appeared in federal court for sentencing, stemming from a gang racketeering trial. Hernandez pleaded guilty and provided extraordinary cooperation to federal prosecutors that enabled the takedown of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods gang.
One thing I feel in life, no, 2 things. God first and the FBI.
Welcome back to StarHush, where we bring you the latest drama straight from the world of hip-hop, and today we're diving into the wildest downfall we've seen in a minute. Tekashi 6ix9ine is officially going broke. After the IRS already snatched and auctioned off multiple luxury cars last year, things have only gone from bad to worse. Now federal agents have come back for more, seizing his prized jewelry collection, including custom chains, diamond-studded rings, and his infamous rainbow-colored grills. But they didn't stop there. They also took designer bags, high-end watches, and even his record plaques. Yes, the very plaques that once symbolized his chart-topping success. This latest move by the IRS has fans asking, has Tekashi's over-the-top lifestyle finally caught up with him? It's hard to believe, considering he once bragged about making millions and living like a king. Born Daniel Hernandez, Tekashi 6ix9ine skyrocketed from Brooklyn's underground scene to global stardom, known for his loud persona, aggressive flow, and never-ending controversy. Whether it was his public feuds with rap's biggest names, his bold antics, or his music's high-energy delivery, one thing was certain: Tekashi knew how to stay in the spotlight. At his peak, he was one of the most talked-about names in hip-hop, dropping viral records, stacking up millions of streams, and stirring up drama like nobody else. But just like his rise, his downfall has been nothing short of chaotic. With the IRS coming for his assets, it looks like the consequences of his reckless spending and controversial career choices are finally catching up to him. For years, Tekashi has been a walking headline, making news for everything from rap beefs to run-ins with the law. Even with the world constantly against him, he somehow kept a massive fan base riding for him. But now, it's looking like his luck has officially run out. Tekashi 6ix9ine was once the loudest voice of the new generation of rappers. But in 2018, his empire started to crumble. And fast. There's an old saying, only 2 things can stop a reckless lifestyle: God and the FBI. And for Tekashi, it was definitely the feds. In November 2018, after a 5-year federal investigation, Tekashi was taken down on racketeering, weapons, and illegal operation charges as part of a massive federal sweep against the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, the group he had been closely tied to. At just 22 years old, he was staring down a potential 47-year prison sentence, and with the odds stacked against him, he made the most controversial decision of his career. He flipped. Tekashi snitched on his former crew, giving up names, operations, and secret details that helped the feds build their case. His cooperation won him his freedom, but at a price. The hip-hop industry turned on him. His street credibility was permanently shattered, and no matter how hard he tried, his career would never be the same. What made it even wilder was that just months before his arrest, 6ix9ine was on top of the world. His hit single Fifi, featuring Nicki Minaj, had gone double platinum, hitting #3 on the Billboard Hot 100. He had the world at his feet, but his reckless choices dragged him down just as fast as he rose. His legal team did everything to get him out, even offering a $1 million bail, house arrest, and the surrender of his passport, but the judge wasn't having it. Tekashi remained behind bars as the full weight of his criminal past caught up to him. Ultimately, his decision to testify against the 9 Trey gang got his 47-year sentence reduced to just 2 years. But even after serving time, his troubles were far from over. By April 2020, Tekashi was back on the streets, released early due to time served and COVID-19 concerns. He tried reviving his career, flaunting his rap persona like a badge of honor, but the industry wasn't buying it. His music wasn't hitting like before. Big artists distanced themselves, and the money started drying up. And now, in 2025, with the IRS seizing his jewelry, cars, and even his record plaques, it's clear that his downfall is reaching its final chapter. The same flashy lifestyle that made him famous is now being ripped away piece by piece in real time. Now, Tekashi 6ix9ine's battle with the IRS isn't new. It's been brewing for a while. But in April 2024, the situation exploded in the worst way possible. This time, it wasn't rival rappers calling him out or social media drama stirring the pot. It was the federal government, and they were coming for his last big assets. On April 17, 2024, IRS agents backed by the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office pulled up to his Lake Worth, Florida mansion, and they didn't come for small talk. Tekashi wasn't even home, but that didn't stop the feds from executing a full-scale asset raid. Armed with a federal warrant, they stormed the property and wasted zero time. By the time they wrapped up, they had snatched multiple high-end cars, including a 2019 Lamborghini and a 2017 Bentley Continental GT Speed. Vehicles Tekashi once flaunted in music videos and on Instagram. The whole thing was caught on camera. TMZ released footage of officers escorting the cars off the property, making it crystal clear that this wasn't some publicity stunt or misunderstanding. This was real-life financial downfall, playing out in front of the world. Eyewitnesses at the scene described the raid as a complete takeover. Agents weren't just casually looking around. They were on a mission. Officers questioned people on site, took inventory of Tekashi's belongings, and left no stone unturned. And when they rolled out, they made sure to take everything of value with them. Several of Tekashi's prized luxury cars were loaded onto tow trucks and hauled away. But what really made it official was the seizure tags placed on the windshields. In one viral photo, his name was clearly printed on a sticker, confirming that these weren't random impounds. They were government property now. Nobody really knew just how deep the government's case against Tekashi 6ix9ine went, or whether this was just the first domino to fall in a much bigger financial mess. While most assumed it was a routine tax seizure, the IRS wasn't saying a word. No official statement, no press release, just silence. And if the feds were keeping quiet, you already knew it wasn't good news. This was the same rapper who used to flex millions of dollars in cash, luxury watches, and private jets. Now, he was watching from a distance as his prized possessions were being snatched away. And it got worse. As the IRS agents carried out their raid in Florida, Tekashi was nowhere in sight. Why? Because he was dealing with his own legal drama in the Dominican Republic, a place where he had been spending a whole lot of time lately. Sources close to him confirmed that the rapper was still in the DR when the feds pulled up to his Florida home, and he hadn't returned to the US since. When TMZ reached out for answers, his lawyer, Lance Lazaro, refused to spill any details. He issued a brief but vague statement saying, "We are assessing the situation and will issue a statement at the appropriate time." That's it. No real explanation, no reassurance, just more mystery. With 6ix9ine tied up in legal issues overseas, the timing of the IRS seizing his assets raised a lot of eyebrows. Was this just about unpaid taxes, or was there a bigger investigation brewing? Fans were desperate for answers, but neither Tekashi nor his team were talking. The radio silence only fueled speculation that his financial and legal situation was way worse than anyone thought. And then, just a few months after the IRS stormed his Florida mansion, things took another brutal turn. The feds officially put his seized luxury cars up for auction. On July 2024, two of Tekashi's high-end rides, a 2019 Lamborghini Urus and a 2017 Bentley Continental GT Speed, were sold off to the highest bidders in a government-run auction. The Lambo, it pulled in $175,000. The Bentley sold for $85,000. That's a total of $260,000, money that was immediately redirected toward paying off Tekashi's growing IRS debt. These were the same flashy, custom-wrapped cars that the feds had yanked off his driveway in April. And despite the fact that they were technically registered to his brother, Oscar Osiris Hernandez, there was never any doubt that they belonged to Tekashi himself. But here's the wildest part. The Bentley that was auctioned off, it still had both front windows shattered, a weird little detail that only added to the mystery. Meanwhile, the Lamborghini Urus, with 49,294 miles, still had its signature black leather interior and TV screens built into the back of the headrests, a flashy reminder of the luxurious life 6ix9ine once lived and flaunted to the world. While no one knows exactly how much back taxes he still owes, the IRS clearly isn't slowing down, wasting no time turning his confiscated assets into cold, hard cash. And with his legal troubles piling up alongside his money woes, it seems like this isn't the end of Tekashi's problems. It's just the beginning of what's shaping up to be a long, painful financial downfall. That long road ahead has officially arrived. Just yesterday, the IRS announced another auction, and this time, it's even more personal. Instead of just cars, the government is going after some of 6ix9ine's most prized and iconic possessions. This new auction, managed by Florida-based Market Auctions, is already making waves across social media, with live bidding set to begin on March 5th. And trust me, this isn't your typical auction. The feds are selling off the very jewelry that defines 6ix9ine's image as a flashy, larger-than-life figure. The items up for grabs: enamel grills, custom diamond pendants, flashy Cartier watches, and even record plaques tied to some of his biggest hits. Let's break down just a few of these jaw-dropping pieces. First up, a gold Cuban link necklace that already has 5 active bids and is sitting at $3,400. Next, a pair of 6ix9ine's iconic multicolored enamel grills, which have racked up nearly $2,000 in bids. But here's where it gets even crazier. Up for grabs is the infamous Bruce the Shark pendant. This isn't just any chain. This custom piece, valued at $60,000, is something every Tekashi fan would recognize instantly from his music videos. The auction listing really pulls no punches, marketing the event with phrases like "jewelry featured in music videos seen by over 1 billion people." It's clear the feds are doing everything they can to squeeze every dollar they can out of what's left of Tekashi's empire. And it doesn't stop there. The IRS auction is stacked with even more insanely expensive and iconic pieces from 6ix9ine's collection, proving just how deep his financial struggles have gone. First up, a spinning enamel shark pendant. Yes, an actual spinning piece of jewelry, listed at $52,000. Insane, right? But that's just the start. There's also a diamond-studded ring that's currently going for $2,400. Gotta admit, that one actually looks pretty clean. Then there's another men's diamond ring, which, if we're being honest, looks just as impressive. And of course, what's an IRS fire sale without a Cartier watch? Yep, one of 6ix9ine's signature timepieces is up for grabs. But if you thought they were only going after his jewelry, think again. The feds even seized luxury handbags. We're talking Birkin bags, diamond bracelets, Louis Vuitton sling bags, and designer purses that probably cost more than most people's rent. But here's where things get even crazier. They're selling his platinum plaques. His Dummy Boy album plaque is up for grabs, along with certifications for his collaborations with Trippie Redd, Fetty Wap, and even Nicki Minaj. Can you imagine seeing 6ix9ine's career-defining plaques being auctioned off like this? And if that wasn't enough, his luxury wristwatches are also hitting the auction block. And let me tell you, these aren't just any watches. These are high-end diamond-studded flex pieces that were once a part of his larger-than-life persona. The IRS isn't holding back. They're auctioning off everything. The same items 6ix9ine once flashed in music videos, Instagram flexes, and interviews. The auction page even states that live bidding starts in just 32 days. And trust me, the internet is already buzzing about who's gonna end up walking away with these pieces of rap history. You already know somebody, probably another rapper, is gonna snatch up one of these pieces and flex like crazy just to clown 6ix9ine for going broke. It's only a matter of time before somebody starts posting IRS collection, drip pics, just to rub salt in the wound. And let's be real, who wouldn't want to flex the most expensive piece? Speaking of which, the priciest item in this fire sale is that $60,000 pendant straight from the Gooba music video. Yeah, that same chain he used to flex his comeback after being released. Now, it's sitting on an auction block waiting for the highest bidder. Crazy how fast things can change. So there it is, 6ix9ine's entire stash of luxury goods officially up for grabs. These aren't just random collectibles either. These are pieces of his past, things that once symbolized his untouchable status in the rap game, but not anymore. They don't belong to him now. They belong to whoever has the biggest bag to throw down at this auction. And of course, 6ix9ine had to respond to the whole situation. Yesterday, he hopped online to explain himself because, let's be real, he wasn't about to stay quiet while the world roasted him for going broke in real time. Now, since his fan base is mostly Spanish-speaking these days, he posted a statement in both Spanish and English. Here's what he had to say. 1 year ago, when I was stuck in the Dominican Republic for 8 months, the feds raided my entire house because I did not report my income for 4 years. Very not smart. And for them, it was seeing how I was running and hiding in the DR when the reality was that I could not leave and get to the USA. Then he ended it by saying something along the lines of, if you don't live like this without renting, you shouldn't have an opinion. So basically, according to 6ix9ine, he wasn't running from the IRS. He just got caught up in legal issues in the Dominican Republic and couldn't leave. Now, here's where things don't really add up. Because how do you not report your income for 4 years, but also claim the feds thought you were dodging them for only 8 months? Something about the timeline just doesn't make sense. Still, it's only fair to present his side of the story, even if it sounds a little shaky. At the end of the day, the IRS doesn't play around. If you don't pay what you owe, they come for your valuables. And the fact that they're still seizing and auctioning off more of his belongings only proves one thing. 6ix9ine either doesn't have the money or he refused to pay up. And let's talk about money management, because that's the real issue here. 6ix9ine isn't the first entertainer to fumble the bag, and he definitely won't be the last. A lot of artists, athletes, and creatives struggle with handling money, because making millions doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to manage it. And when you mix that with tax issues, you're asking for trouble. If there's one thing you never want to mess with, it's the IRS. You can dodge beef with rappers, social media drama, even lawsuits. But when the IRS comes knocking, it's game over. Unlike your toxic ex slashing your tires, the IRS doesn't just mess with your car, they deflate your entire life. And that's exactly what's happening to 6ix9ine right now. He thought he could play around, and guess what? He found out. But let's be real here. This isn't just about taxes. 6ix9ine has put out so much negative energy over the years, and now it's looking like karma came back for him in full force. Now, whether you believe in karma or not, you have to admit, when you spend years taunting people, disrespecting families, and making enemies out of literally everybody, life has a way of spinning the block on you. And for 6ix9ine, it just so happens that the IRS pulled up, knocked on the door, and took everything. But let me be very clear. I'm not celebrating this. This isn't something I'm happy about, and I don't rejoice in seeing people hit rock bottom. On this channel, we don't root for the downfall of others. It's sad to see someone who was once at the top of the game now having their entire life auctioned off to the highest bidder. That being said, 6ix9ine is still a name. He's not going to be completely done. He'll find a way to bounce back somehow. But this is a major wake-up call. Life comes at you fast, and if you think you're too big to fall, think again. 6ix9ine has mocked people who passed away, disrespected families, beefed with half the industry, and now he's in a position where his chains, cars, and even his record plaques are being snatched up by random bidders. If this isn't a lesson in money management and humility, I don't know what is. So let this be a reminder. Play around with drama, play around with controversy, play around with your image all you want, but do not play with the IRS. That's one battle you're never going to win. But now I gotta ask, what do you think about all this? Do you think 6ix9ine is officially broke, or do you think he's got a plan to bounce back? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.